Super Bowl 55. One of the many reasons he is the GOAT quarterback. Jason, what are the chances, in your opinion, of Brady getting the Bucks back to the Super Bowl and winning ring number 8?
Can I go with slim, Chris? Can I say slim chances of returning? By the way, I saw Brady post that on the gram. Somehow he doesn't follow me on Instagram. I'm shocked. But, Chris, I got issues with this team. First of all, this is a crazy stat that I saw. It's mind-boggling. Every player who scored a touchdown for the Bucks in the Super Bowl is up as a free agent. We don't know if Gronk's coming back. We don't know about Antonio Brown. We don't know about Leonard Fournette. And then you look at the bigger picture, guys. Chris Godwin is going to command top dollar. He's their best receiver. No disrespect to Mike Evans. Look at one of their great linebackers, Levante David's a free agent. I mean, Shaq Barrett, who dominated the postseason. He eviscerated the Packers and Patrick Mahomes. He's a free agent. So the Bucks have a lot to do. And remember, repeating is super difficult in the NFL. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs, who were basically hung over for the entire season, struggling to get back to the Super Bowl. I know they were great record-wise, but they didn't look the part. And then they get there and they get smashed. So, I mean, I know the odds, the gambling odds, currently have Tampa Bay as the favorite to come out of the NFC. We know the Saints are going to take a big step back with the Drew Brees likely retirement. The Packers have a brutal schedule. You know, I think the team to watch is the L.A. Rams with Matt Stafford. I know that not everybody's a fan of Stafford and he's never won a playoff game. But if Tom Brady has a team to worry about in the NFC, I believe it's the L.A. Rams.
Well, first, let me say this. Anytime you talk about Brady and the Bucks next year, you've got to throw this caveat out there. He'll be 44 years old. And when a guy's that old, he could fall off at any moment. You don't know when it's coming. I'm not predicting it, but it's possible. And typically with quarterbacks, it happens in a hurry. Remember Peyton Manning? 39 touchdowns, 4,700 yards. And then the next season, 9 touchdowns, 2,200 yards. It can come quickly. So that's always a possibility. But barring that, Jason, assuming Tom Brady is Tom Brady and as good as he was this year, I couldn't disagree with you more. All right, I think the team to beat right now, the favorite in the NFC right now, should be Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. They're going to be better. They're going to be better. He will be second year in a system with Bruce Arians, second year out of New England, and he'll be more comfortable as good as he looked this year, obviously. The players will be more comfortable with him. And I get that there's typically a Super Bowl hangover for some of these teams. But Tom Brady has not had that in his career. And I think him posting this picture on Instagram was a message to his teammates that, guys, we got work still to be done. If I have 7 rings and I'm still going hard after another championship, the rest of you should be as hungry as ever. So I think that was a message, and that's one of the strengths of Brady, his leadership, his intangibles, and this was an example of that. You're right. You mentioned some free agents. They got to bring back Shaq Barrett. No question about it. You'd love to bring back Levante David, but he might be out of there, and that could hurt. But I think the defense will still be fine. They'll be better. The young quarterbacks who look bad at times this season are going to be more confident based on what they did in the playoffs. Devin White is just going to get better. That dude is a stud. And you mentioned the guys that scored touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Who really, Jason, is going after Leonard Fournette? I mean, seriously, he got cut by Jacksonville, and I know he looked good for the Buccaneers, but nobody's going to give him big money. I think he could be back in Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, I'd love to have him back, but I do remember a few drop passes as well in the postseason. So he may be gone, and if he is, nobody's giving Antonio Brown big money. They think the only place he'll behave himself is with Tom Brady. So I think they can bring him back, not at a huge dollar amount. And Gronk, again, who's paying Gronk big money at this stage of his career? They know he wants to play with Tom Brady. So I think they can bring those 3 guys back. Not huge money. I still got Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller, and remember the rookie, Tyler Johnson. He played well. So I think that they're going to be fine next year. Let me say this. The teams you mentioned that could challenge them. If Deshaun Watson comes to the NFC, say San Francisco, obviously they'd be a team that would give Tampa Bay trouble. And the Rams, I'm with you. I think they're going to be good. but I'm not ready to put them ahead of the Buccaneers because let's see what Matt Stafford can do.
Yeah, Chris, the one thing, and I do a gambling column for FoxSports.com, the one thing I wrote that you can't quantify is that hunger and that desire and that thirst to chase a championship. We know Brady had it big time. He wanted payback against Belichick. Gronk instantly comes out of retirement. Again, these guys are shoving it to Belichick. And on some level, obviously they want to win, but they do want to prove to Belichick, hey, man, we don't need you. Okay, Antonio Brown wanted to prove to the Steelers, hey, man, you guys didn't want me. Okay, I'm coming out. I'm winning a Super Bowl. I'm scoring. Leonard Fournette, again, like you said, dumped by Jacksonville. It looked like his career was on the brink, even though he's in his mid-20s. But, Chris, I keep coming back to this. You mentioned 44. One of the great stat guys at First Things First just texted me. Only one quarterback has started 2 games at the age of 44. Vinny Testaverde. I know he wasn't on the TB12 diet. Obviously, I got to get on the TB12 website and order me some shakes so I can keep my off-season regimen working here. But this is going to be a very tall order for Brady to pull it off again at the age of 44. Again, there's really it's unprecedented what he did at 43. Can he do that again, Chris? Do you really believe one season removed from, shoving his middle finger at Belichick? I just don't know that I see it again from Tom Brady.
You saw the photo. He's already at work. Look, I wouldn't be at work. Would you be at work 6 days after winning the Super Bowl?
I would.
You'd be chilling. I'll be on an island somewhere with Giselle. I mean, honestly, part of me is like, dude is crazy. All right, but he's crazy like a fox, Jason. It was a message to his teammates and to the rest of the league that I'm not done. And that's one of the things that's made him great. Look, you're right. As I said, he could fall off at any given moment. We have to leave that out there for a guy that's 44. But as you said, what he did this year was unprecedented. And when I look at the eye test, Jason, I didn't see anything that's going to make me think he's going to fall off. If in his last year in New England,
Chris,
I would not have predicted he was going to lead the league in completions of 20 yards or more. I never would have thought he would have thrown the long ball like he did this season, but he looked great doing it. I know his mobility's never been good, so that's always a question. As long as the line can protect him, I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for at least one more season that he will be good next year. I'm not predicting them as they'll win the NFC for sure, but right now I think they should legitimately be the favorite. I mean, Green Bay, how's it going to get better for Green Bay? This year it was set for Aaron Rodgers on a platter. All right, you had the home field advantage in Lambeau, maybe the greatest home field advantage in the league, and you still couldn't deliver. Your defense was good. You had the best receiver, arguably, in the league, and you still could not deliver. So I can't put them ahead of Tampa Bay at this point.
Just one quick thing, Chris. We saw Tom Brady go to Tampa and then say, hey, I need help. Get me Gronk. I want Antonio Brown. Bring him in. Let's go get Fournette. And we're already starting this offseason to see Aaron Rodgers very unhappy. Aaron Rodgers going to management. Hey, can you bring in somebody here? I need help. And we've seen Russell Wilson do it in the last week in Seattle. They are taking the Tom Brady / LeBron method of, hey, right, I'm a franchise guy here. I am very important. I want this. I need that if you guys want championships. So I think Brady will have, a bit of a challenge to retain some of these talented guys who could hit free agency because other quarterbacks are going to chirp up just like Tom Brady did.
Godwin. That's it. I mean, look, does Russell Wilson say, I want Antonio Brown? I mean, maybe he thinks he might be able to control him and keep him on point. But DK Metcalf, their problem is not necessarily another receiver. So I just don't see a team paying big money to the 3 guys I mentioned, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, or Leonard Fournette. I think they'll be back in Tampa, and I think Tampa's got a great chance of getting back to the Super Bowl. But I'll tell you this, I think, Jason, there's a great chance of a repeat Super Bowl, a rematch. And in this rematch, if it happens, it's too early for me to make my prediction. But right now, I do feel good about a KC Tampa Super Bowl again. And this time, touchdowns, 4,700 yards, and in the next season, 9 touchdowns, 2,200 yards. It can come quickly. So that's always a possibility. But barring that, Jason, assuming Tom Brady is Tom Brady and as good as he was this year, I couldn't disagree with you more. All right, I think the team to beat right now, the favorite in the NFC right now, should be Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. They're going to be better. They're going to be better. He will be second year in a